Hi folks, Artie Fuddy here. Decided to do a temporary expansion to the layout. I added an extra 4 feet here. So it's only going to be a temporary measure. So I'm going to show you guys how I do things. And yeah, I won't be able to see the chat, so just bear with me. So anyway, I've got the joins in here. So what I do with my joins is I get a bit of masking tape and to cover the joins so you can't see it when you're doing the scenery and painting it. Before I paint, I usually put this down. Let me get this little thing out of the way because it's going to get in the way. So anyway, this is going to be annoying because I've got this cork in the way, but now usually I would cover the screw holes too, but these two sections are, as I said, only temporary. This one and this one, because the other layout will start from roughly about here to there. So anyway, I've got that one, this bit down. Okay. And I'll go the corner up to here. Now this I found serves two purposes. It actually seals it off from when you have the say for when we're doing the gluing or you're doing some painting and you've got some runny paint. It stops them from flowing through. I've got this little bit of tape. I'm going to plug up the hole underneath. It's not going to stick. I have to get underneath there in a moment. So Okay, now I'm just going to go underneath and plug up. I already marked out roughly where my switches, where we drill the further wire for that. One crack coming here, and a storage siding here, and we're going to do like a little township or whatnot here, and a crossing on this spot. Oh, thereabouts anyway. So I'll just get underneath here. Oh. Oh. Now I'm going to take this label off here. Oh, here we got here. Hey Mel's, how you doing? So now I've recycled this piece. This has been out in the weather, so this is my nice side. Usually I have the label up on the other side. Well, I'll get some alcohol. Oh. Cloth. Get it off, and weaken the sticky bit underneath it. Six. So my intention is going to be with this section here is I'm going to do a it's going to be an experimental section, plus I'm going to do a basic NCE tutorial with what I've learnt in recent years of using NCE components, and also with me intending to do some signaling. It's going to give me the opportunity to do the basic signaling from NCE, using NCE components on this. And just basically going back to basics. Basic electrics, basic electronics. So that's what my intention is going to be with this section here. One of you just recently, the other night, was actually asking how we do gravel roads. So I'm going to do that too. Oh, handy easy for that scraper, right? Use this. pretty good. It's been one of them days and one of those weekends where just haven't been able to win. Perseverance is a key, I suppose. So anyone that's come in the chat, just bear with me because I can't really see the chat. I'm too far away from the screen. I don't have any fancy dandy camera gizmos like some people have on YouTube, so for the time being, we just have to do like this. So, right. Just trying to get a tail in like that. And run with it. And that looks like there's half the label behind it. Alright. Okay. What are they glue they've used? They've used a pretty good glue. So anyway, that's the label off. Give it a quick wipe. Use the brush, get some of this excess off. Try to get a clean bench. And what I'm asking to take here where the joint is. Quick way of bogging up and hiding the joint. Yeah, so this is only temporary, but still going to try to have a half decent finish because it'll be sometime after Christmas when I'll be able to do some serious expansion. Right, okay. That's all prepped, ready to go. Now I've got two blues here. Well, that's not the blue, that's the ground colour. Okay, I've got Harbour Sky and High Blue. So what I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start with my harbour sky up to about halfway, and then I'm going to put a high blue over the top. The colour that I've got is, for the sky, is a pretty close match to the colours of the sky in my area on a nice clear day. So that's basically my star colour. Okay. Alright. So the sky, I'll put that on the side for now. I need more room. I'll give the paint a good cut. Good shake. Alright, and here we go. I've been painting for a while, so here we go. And this is a semi-gloss. I always start with a lighter colour. When I do my painting, I always start with my lighter colours first. It's always easier to cover up the lighter colour than it is to cover up the darker colour. Not in a hurry. There's a pain. Got it everywhere. You can see it's not a bad colour for the lower part of the sky. Do it nicely. It'll give you that. It'll give you that streak of the sky. All ready to go. What? I'll take that down the bottom here. You can watch the paint dry melt. Make sure it's drying evenly. No joking. So as you can see, I'm going roughly about a halfway point. Yeah, I think I didn't do too bad of a job on choosing a colour for the sky. suppose the sky is one of those colours that's really hard to get right, but I was lucky enough, I think it was the Geolux range, Torben's range of paints here in Australia actually had a nice matching colour, so I went ahead and used it. You can see it's just about done. It's come up reasonably well. I'll give us another coat here. There you see, I mean, it's a different shade at the moment, but it changes. It will change as it dries. I've got pretty good cover everywhere. Don't see any wood grains anyway. It's come up reasonably well. Okay, I'll just get some paper to clean this paint up that's on my tub. Okay, so let's clean that up. Okay, so that's my lower half of my sky. Now, as a typical Aussie, in some ways, I'm going to cheat with the next colour. I'm not gonna wash my brush. I'm just going to use the brush as it is. Because if you have a look at the layers of the sky, when the colours go up, the actual colours change depending on where the sun is, and the sun is in proportion to the sky. So give this one a good shake. Now this one's a Geolux colour, and it's called High Blue. Okay, so I'll start with this to finish at the top. As you can see, that's the colour of it. A little bit darker. Not much darker, just a smidgen darker. Get rid of this. You don't need it now. So here we go with the top up. Sorry with the shadow, I don't have a lot of brightness. So you can see the tone's very close, but still very different. The cheap way of doing it back, I find this is the cheap way for me to do the backdrop, especially at the moment since a lot of shipments from overseas taking forever to get here. This is just going to have to do, because even with me ordering the prints now from the US, it's not going to arrive before my surgery on my hand. And you can actually see that on that side. So I'm just doing what I've got right now. I'm going to see if I've still got some artistic skills and might actually paint the backdrop. We'll see how we go. I was going to do doing the switchboard, but I do my spray painting outside. And the way the weather's been lately here in my area, we've been having storms continuously all day long, on and off. So I'm just going to wait till next weekend and have that done. As you see, you might be able to see it in that camera. You can see the tones are very, very close to one another. It gives me the effect that I want. So once it dries, you'll see that it actually looks pretty good and it does blend in well. Just trying to hide some of the brush streaks, some of the bits where I missed. Because I'm only going to do one coat over this, I'm not going to do multiple coats. You see, I can get away with having a different overlay, and with me not cleaning the brush up, and while the paint's still dry, I was still a little bit wet, I can actually blend the two colours together nicely. Some of the rough bits are just going to, where it doesn't quite look the right, I'll just painting some clouds into that later. I've never done clouds, so it's going to be a first, eh? You'll be able to see what my clouds are going to look like. As you see, it's slowly coming together. And the blend's not too bad. I'm going to get some of the timber up here at the top. Colour will change as it dries. But with some paints, the actual wet colour is different to your dry colour. But you're going to slowly start seeing the effects on the bits and pieces, in the areas where it's starting to dry up. How the colours are coming together. I know it's boring watching people paint, but it's a lot more boring when you're watching it dry. I mean, it's been interesting. Like when I was doing some projects, I actually was outside in a nice day and watching the sun, I was actually watching paint dry. And it was quick dry paint. It wasn't slow dry paint. It was quick dry paint. But it was actually interesting to see how the pigmentation of the paint changes. So yeah, it's coming in a little bit more here. A little bit more here. On this side. So it's come up reasonably good. I mean, if you see the back wall in the photos and whatnot from the first bit that I did, unless you come up it does come up reasonably good. Yeah, it is a bit of a streaky colour here with the paintbrush, but I'm not too worried about that because it just gives that light, like up around here, just gives that little tone. The difference, if you have a look at the slight cloud formations in the sky, it actually gives it that look. So now I've just got to do this. And you'll see here how nicely it actually blends in. And as it dries, you'll see that it will match up a little bit. Now the reason why I'm going for two colours here is because I'm looking down into it. Now if I was looking up higher at it, I would just be using this tone here that I'm using now. There we go. See how nicely it's all blended in. The corners. my sky done. I think, yeah, I've got all of it. I don't see any timber showing, which is good. Top, no timber showing, that's more what I'm concerned about. Oh, there's a little bit there. In the corner. So, that's my sky. It's my sky painted. Now, I'm just going to quickly duck out and I'll take these two paints out, but I'll quickly go and wash the brush. Because I'm going to be painting up the base too while I'm here. Okay, give me a sec, I'll just go and wash the brush out in water. Alright, so I'm back. That was that's the brush painted. Just wipe all that down. I mean, painted. Not smart, hardy. That's the paintbrush washed. And now I'm going to do the base. With my base colour, I have got russet tan. It's another Dulux colour. Now, that is very similar to this colour here, which is my basic I use this as my basic ground cover at the moment. My base paint represents just over the topsoil mark. You've got the topsoil, then you've got the subsoil before you get to your clay. So this is basically subsoil. Of course, I can actually then dress it up with different colours of soils, depending on what I'm going to do. Now, I promised someone I'm going to do a gravel road on this. So still, I'm going to use this as my base colour and work my gravel road up above this. Okay, it's not too bad. Hopefully I should have enough to finish this. Oh. Yeah, just plenty of water-based paint. Let me get this film off. It's almost like terracotta kind of a colour. You see, once I put it on the base, it's like a, as you see, it's like a wet dirt colour. But as I said, it's more of a terracotta red sort of a colour scheme. It's going to blend in pretty well. Not too bad as a base coat. So depending on where you're modelling, a lot of people try to match colours to a final surface. I don't. I usually go to the subsoil for my area first before I do the top layer. Because the top layer, you always get some sort of erosion in it, where your topsoil washes away, and then you're left with this part of your ground surface, which is your subsoil. I've had a bit of experience with moving and transporting different layers of dirt in my time as a truck driver. So I've got to learn my layers. Plus as well my one of my subjects at school, geography. So as you see, the tape is actually reasonably covering up the join. I'm not going to have a crack there. Scenery, there is a good unevenness there at the moment, which I noticed. Yeah, scenery will fix that up. But it just all looks like one piece now. So now it just looks like someone's coming in with earthmoving equipment, like your scrapers and whatnot, and taking the top layer of soil off, getting ready for construction on what's going to be laid in here, like your roads and whatnot. I might just have enough of this paint. I'll have to order some more soon, I think. Now, I haven't covered the screws up, I know, but it's only going to be temporary. If I cover these screws up, it's going to take me forever to try to find them. Because I might be able to save this for the expansion. Now, as you see, some of your people, some of the really good reviews, I think you would have seen it, Mel, and some of the others would have seen, like Jason, for example, he's using the colour that he's got, which is more of a sandy subsoil. It still works. And then he can actually change his tones as he goes up. So I'm basically going to be doing the same here. I'm doing this, and my tones are going to change as I go. As I put the other layers on. See what happens when you've got different colours. See, this is a darker colour, and notice how I can actually hide the blue with the dark colour. It's a lot easier to do it this way than doing it the other way. I'm running out of room here. Oh, I might just have enough here. I'll have to go and get some more once I expand. I won't lose the jar, because the jar's actually got the mix of recipe in it, which is combination of magenta, orange, yellow, white. Yeah, nice mixture of colours. I try to, where I can, I try to keep the strokes in the same direction. I still don't quite work out how and what the road's going to look like, or what direction the road's going to look. I know what the road's going to look like, but in what direction the road's going to go, I might end up having it give it a false look that it's actually going to disappear into here. It's only going to be a temporary road, because outer lines eventually going to curve up over to here. So as you see, that's giving a bit of a spread now. Now I'm going to go wash the brush, but you notice how the tone is actually changing as it dries. This is one colour, and by the time it dries up, it will actually go just a smidgen darker. So there you have it. I'm just going to wash off this brush, and I'll be back to sign off. That's come up pretty good. So just bear with me. I'll just go and wash this brush. So yeah, that's all done now. I'm going to do the track lane bit sometime during a week. I'm still waiting for a switch to turn up, so once that turns up, I'll be able to lay the track down and I'll show you how I do the sections. And then I'll do some quick scenery. That helps. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it and viewed on how the expansions come along. And